Alright YouTube, today I'm going to teach you how to make one of these, your own custom token, depending on the holographic image you want. What you'll need is, let me get these out. I have to do this one-handed because the tripod is not working at the moment. What you'll need is a Yu-Gi-Oh token of any sort, blank, and then a card, preferably not one that's too expensive, that you like the art on, that you want to turn into a token. So we're using Jiraiya Jiganoto. Right here we have a bowl of warm water. What we're going to do is we're going to let that soak in there. You can put something on top of it to make it sink. I think I will put, just the end of the scissors I'm going to be using. Keep that down there in the bottom. Give it about 5 minutes, and we'll do a time-lapse thing. Actually, I'll just stop the video, and after 5 minutes, I'll start it up. Alrighty, it's been about 5 minutes, and our Jiraiya Jiganoto has been soaking in there. And what you'll notice is that there is the hologram is actually starting to split off from the cardboard of the card. Now, I'm going to have to set up the camera to where I can show you how to peel this, so let me show you that. But just make sure before you take it out of the bowl that you can physically pull off most of this. So go ahead and get a better angle. Alright, what we'll do is we'll slowly but surely just peel this back. Peel. Should come off just like that. What you have is just the remnants of the hologram. So now you have just a wet piece of cardboard, and you can throw that away. So I'll actually do that right now. And now what you're going to do is you're going to look at the back of this. There might be some residual cardboard. What you're going to do is just stick it underwater. What I have done on some of my other ones, I stick it under a hot faucet, and you just rub. You want it to be just the hologram part, so you can see these little white bits coming off. You want to make sure we get most of those removed from behind where the hologram is, so this part. So just remove. Alright, now we've got this hologram separated from the card, and what we're going to do, and you've all, actually hopefully most of you, have passed elementary school, what you're going to do is you look on the token. It already has this black border going around, so we want to cut the token on the inside part of that border, so about right there. So you take your scissors, you line it up carefully, and just cut the very inside part of that lip on the hologram. So be very careful, steady hands, and if you look, wasn't exactly a straight cut, but you got mostly just the lip there. I have a little bit of the border I'm going to cut off right here, just a very small bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want this to look good. I've seen some custom tokens where people have literally taken the token card, cut the picture out, and then they just slam this over another card to where that card's hologram's looking through, and it looks really crappy if you ask me. So we'll go ahead and just cut around this entire thing, line it up carefully. The thing about scissors is that they're not going to cut where you don't tell them to cut, so if you do it carefully enough, you shouldn't hit any of your image and cut it up. So down here it's kind of hard because it's a dark border, so I'm going to go from the other side where it's a little bit lighter. Alright, now right here. And what we should have when we're done is just the holographic image. You can, kind of place it over the image to see if you cut it right, and just tweak it. So as you can see, we kind of got most of it right. This part is probably the easiest. You just take an old school glue stick, and you're going to apply glue to the back of the hologram. So you can use Elmer's glue, you can use whatever you want. I'm using a glue stick right now. So just get a good amount of glue on there. And what I did when I was doing this is you just take in your hands and you just move it to every corner. because You want this to be covered. And then what you're going to do is just wipe off your hands from the glue. Quick, just use the water that you just had to peel your card. And now what you do, you just place it on top. You just put it on, essentially. So at first you don't have to hit it perfectly because the glue is still wet, and you'll be able to move it around a little bit. So flatten this out a little bit on there. Down. And then, this is just kind of how it looks now. So now I'll just move this around to where it looks the best. What you can do is you can take your wallet, take my debit card number out there for you guys. Just take a card out of there and you just push it down. Push it down. So now it's nice and flat on there. And again, just keep on checking. So I need to move this a little bit to the right, and it'll still move if you give it enough force. So move it. Just go up a little bit, and then we have a token. Now what you want to do is before you sleeve it, you want to let it sit out for about 10 to 15 minutes while the glue dries. You don't want to put a token with wet glue on it out into into a sleeve. So I now have 3 Direct Giganoto tokens. And yeah, that's pretty much the video. Sorry about the weird angles. I don't really have a tripod for my Flip Mini yet, so as of right now I'm using actually I'm not going to tell you what I'm using, but that's pretty funny. So yeah, that's the finished product. You have a good looking token. You could make it look a little better around the edges to where it's like perfect, but I just kind of sped through this one, to be honest with you. So if you spend a little bit more time, yours will look a little bit better. And any card image you want, you can literally peel off the card like I showed you. So it brings a little bit of personalization to your game. If you're running a deck that uses lots of tokens, personalize your own tokens. It's usually a fun process, and a lot of people take notice of full tokens. So there you go.